Local storage in React. As the name suggests, it used to store your website's data locally in your browser. In this video, we're going to learn about local storage and we will create this simple to-do app. It's simple, but still it covers all the concepts of CRUD operations using local storage. Like you can add, delete, even you can edit a task. How cool is that, right? And everything is saving on local storage. Your data not gonna go anywhere. And also, you will learn to handle an array and much more about React. So I will highly suggest to just relax and maintain your focus. Let's introduce local storage first. There are mainly two functions regarding local storage. Local storage.setItem and another one is local storage.getItem. Local storage.setItem is used to set the value to the local storage and it takes two parameters. One is the key and another one is the value. Key has to be always a string and another one is the value you wanna set. Like local storage.setItem, name and Tommy. You can check your data is saving in the local storage with inspecting and then go to application and local storage. Local storage.getItem, this function is to access the data you stored in a certain key and it takes only one parameter, the data of the key you want to access. Like again, I can type console.log local storage.getItem and name. It should show the name we saved previously.
As far, I just made a component called todo.jsx and mounted it on app.jsx. Back to the components, let's just make the basic frame for the app. So starting with div element, for now have to make an input field and a button to add the task and then the UL element to show the list. For now, I just type demo task, but soon we will make it a normal to-do app. And now I am using React icons to add some icons. First, you have to install by npm I React icons command. Then search for your favorite icon and then copy the import and icon component and then paste it. For now, I will just add a delete and edit icon. And I am adding some class name to the icon component for editing the CSS later. Right now, it's looking kind of this, but soon we will change it through CSS. After adding some little bit CSS, now it's looking better than previous and we will good to go to our next step. Any button doesn't do anything right now, but soon we will make it functionable. First of all, import useState and useEffect from React. We wanna make two useState for now. One is the task for the main array where we will save our data. Second is current task to access the value from the input field. Now we will make a useEffect and don't forget to add the third bracket to the end. It will make sure that this code will run once in this component's lifetime. Now we're just gonna type const stored item local storage.getItem lists and then if stored item actually has some value, set task json.parse stored item. So what is going on here? First, let's talk about what json.parse do. Basically, in local storage, data are stored in a string table format, but json.parse make it a JS object. Now it becomes more easier to handle. And here, this code block is just getting the raw data from local storage, and then we're just checking if it's a value, then just convert it into JSON. That's it. Now just get rid of other demo tasks. Next step is to get value from input field. So first, we are just gonna pass simple event listener and update our current task state while changing anything into the input field. Now, let's add an on-click function to the button, but first, we have to make the function. Let's make a function named addTask, and we're gonna do a couple of things here. First of all, we're just gonna check if the current state is not empty, means input field is not empty. Then we're just gonna simply push our current task value to the task array. Updated task just created an instance of it. So we're gonna lastly update the setTask function to updated task. Then we're gonna set the new array with values in the local storage in list t. And lastly, we're gonna leave the input field empty after adding a value. Then don't forget to add the function in the onClick. Let's just see if it's working or not. So I'm just typing random values and add it, and as you can see, it's saved in local storage. So it's working. We just completed first step. Now our second step is to actually show the values we saved to the UL element. So we're just gonna use .map function. What map function do basically, it goes through your every elements and return it without changing the main array. It also supports two parameters like item and index. Item is actually the item element of the array and index is the index of the element. So we're just gonna go through every elements of the task array and return all its elements. Now we're just returning the random values we added previously. For now, once again, let's just clear the local storage and see if it is working or not. Now, if I tap something and click the add button, it's just showing the task to the list. So everything seems good right now. Let's back to our next step to actually remove the task. So as before, let's make a onClick function in the delete icon and make a remove task function. We mentioned earlier that map function returns two values, item and index, and we're just gonna pass index from here. Now let's just type const remove task equals to task.filter underscore comma index and index not equal to I. It just basically mean we are filtering out the index we passed from the specific element of the array we clicked. Then again set task to new remove task and again set the new array to the local storage. I think we are good to go to check if it's working or not. So it's just working effortlessly. Now we can do both add and remove the task. Next and last step is to edit the task. So what we're gonna do, if we click the edit icon / button, we want to bring a pop-up and we want to set the new value into the pop-up and it should update the list. Our first part is to make the pop-up. So first we will again take a state to show and close the pop-up. It's a boolean value. Now just make a function called show the pop-up. Here we're just gonna update set show the pop-up to true. And now we will type if pop-up show and then render this element. If you are noticing this term for first time, actually what it does that if your boolean value is true, then you can render anything into this parenthesis, other it will not render anything. That's it. So here let's add the input field and a button again to save. And again let's check if it's working. So as you can see, it's working, but it's really ugly. So we have to make it better. So after some adding little bit CSS, finally it's looking like kind of this. For now, this button doesn't work, but soon it will save the new value. Again, we're gonna take two states. One is edit task and second is edit index. And you guessed it, edit task is to get the values from the pop-up input field. But why edit index? You're gonna find out soon. But first, we will pass index from index of the element through the show the pop-up function and set edit to the item, because we're gonna try to edit the values to present there as a pre-written previous value. Again, as before, we're gonna pass event listener to onChange callback to access the input values to state. Now, if we click the edit button, now pre-written text is coming, but saving button is not working right now. We have to make it work. So let's make a function called save edit. Now, what we're gonna do, we'll go through each element with map function and check if the each edit index means the specific element we clicked, then this will return the edit task means our new value, otherwise just return the previous item. And again, as always, update the set task and local storage with new edit. Lastly, add set popup show false. It will make the popup show value false and our popup render will no longer available, means it will close. And don't forget to on-click the save function in the save button. Now we can add, edit and delete our task. Thanks for watching.